I dated a younger guy for half a year, spent nearly $500K on him, but he never introduced me to his friends. On social media, he even pretended to be single, all because I was 8 years older. He thought I was too old. One day, he forgot to mute his mic. I overheard his campus heartthrob roommate comment on me. 8 years older? Not even a dog would date her. Lovely. I memorized that cold, detached voice. Later, on an ordinary evening, that same campus heartthrob stopped my car and begged me for help. I said, "I can help you if you're willing to be my dog." Campus heartthrob, excuse me? What he didn't know at the time was this: his days as a pampered pet were already numbered. And his master? Was me. Chapter 1. I had a 10-minute video call with Elias. And then he got impatient. "Babe, I'm sleepy. Let's wrap it up here." Before I could respond, he hung up the video, but forgot to cut the audio. I heard him speaking. Queue up. Queue up. Ranked 5. I got a date with a freshman. His roommate chuckled. Dating sounds exhausting. Why not just dump her? Elias replied. She's older, clingy as hell. Can't shake her off. Liar. He's the one who wouldn't let go, because he couldn't bear to lose my money. I poured myself a glass of red wine and kept listening. Elias's roommates kept teasing. You never bring her out. What? She too old and rich to show off? Elias didn't deny it. Then the game started. He invited some cutesy freshman girl. She cooed nonstop about his limited edition skin. Elias waved his hand like a king. Want one? I'll get it for you. Of course, he was using the pocket money I gave him. After the match, the girl giggled her way off to bed, and once she left, the conversation circled right back to me. Hey, Lucas, what do you think? About what? About Elias dating someone 8 years older. A pause. Then a low, indifferent voice answered. 8 years older? Not even a dog would go for that. Chapter 2. I've got a thing for voices. Out of all the younger guys I've dated, I picked Elias because of his voice. But now? My attention had shifted. Lucas. I remembered him. Elias's roommate, supposedly the campus heartthrob, doesn't talk much, but all the girls are into him. Whenever Elias mentioned him, he always sounded jealous. Lucas had it all: looks, brains, grades. Everywhere he went, people stared. Standing next to Lucas, Elias became background noise. But the irony? Lucas came from a poor family. Elias's pride couldn't handle being overshadowed by someone with no money. And yet, Lucas had that voice, even sexier than Elias's. I bet he sounds divine when he moans. I ended the audio call and made up my mind. If my boy toy's acting up, time to get a new pet. Chapter 3. I like dating younger guys. 1. Because I'm too busy for anything serious. 2. Because younger boys are fiery. I enjoy that, including Elias. I've dated 11 of them, enough to form a football team. I'm never stingy with them, just with Elias alone. I've spent nearly $500,000 in 6 months. His entire wardrobe of designer clothes? I bought them all. That money changed his life. Let him strut around campus like a king. Let the little freshman girls fall all over him. But for me, that money was just one less handbag. I pay. They serve. It's fair. What I never expected was for Elias, that soft-spoken little sweetheart, to trash-talk me behind my back for our age gap. Well then, guess I'm bored of him too. Weekend. Elias's birthday. He threw his party at my villa. I arrived late, 9 p.m. The party was in full swing, loud, crowded. Elias had just lost a game and was doing push-ups as punishment. But not just any push-ups. There was a girl lying beneath him, hands covering her blushing face. Every time he dropped down, his lips nearly brushed hers. The crowd roared. Kiss her! Kiss her! Come on, Elias. You got this? No man can say no to a challenge. Elias gave in. His last push-up dropped extra low. Just as he was about to kiss her, I opened the villa door and saw everything. Chapter 4. Everyone fell silent, their eyes turning toward me with curiosity. Elias froze. His flushed face gradually drained of color. Why are you here? This is my house. Am I not allowed? I thought you said you had to work overtime tonight. Well, overtime's done. I came to celebrate your birthday. I kicked off my red bottom heels and walked in gracefully, like I owned the room. Because I did. Someone whispered, "Wait. Elias, isn't this your place?" "Yeah, you said your parents gave it to you." Elias pressed his lips together, clearly flustered. She's my sister." I let out a soft laugh. Didn't correct him. Didn't need to. Chapter 5. College kids. Honestly, they don't usually mean any harm. Once Elias said that, everyone just assumed I was family and warmly welcomed me. Damn. Elias, your sister's gorgeous. Why haven't you ever mentioned her? Bro, your sister got the good genes. She looks like a movie star. Sis, there's a seat here. Want some juice? I'll pour you a glass. Thank you. After sitting down, my gaze drifted to Lucas. He clearly didn't get along with Elias. Elias had only invited him tonight to show off. Lucas was crammed into a corner, interacting with no one. His whole vibe detached and disinterested. I joined the party game, and soon, the king called on me. The king ordered me to pick any guy present for a safe kiss. A safe kiss, meaning 10 seconds of kissing through a playing card. Elias looked over, visibly conflicted. He didn't want to admit we were together, but couldn't bear to watch me kiss someone else. He hesitated endlessly, as if debating whether to volunteer, but I didn't give him the chance. I looked past him and pointed directly at Lucas. Let's do it. Chapter 6. Elias shot to his feet. No way. Why not? You can't pick him. I'll do the punishment with you. Don't be ridiculous. We're supposed to be siblings. How could we do something so gross? Yeah, right, little brother. Step aside. Elias. What? Are you sister obsessed or something? Everyone chimed in, saying they couldn't accept it. I hid a cold smile, pretending to be helpless. Sorry, little brother. If dad and mom found out, they'd kill us. Elias's expression was a kaleidoscope of panic. This was his lie. And now, it was too late to explain. Lucas hadn't said a word the whole time, until someone shoved him toward me. The boy lifted his eyelids lazily, voice drawling. You're not Elias's sister. He spoke just loud enough for me to hear. You're his girlfriend. You knew? I smiled at him, eyes locking onto his. So, does that excite you? Lucas gave a faint, amused snort. I'm not interested in someone else's girlfriend. That's fine. It's enough if I'm interested in you. Lucas blinked, caught off guard. By then I'd already held up the playing card, pressed it to his lips, and before he could react, I leaned in and kissed him gently. Chapter 7. Elias. Looks like Lucas is gonna be your brother-in-law now. The crowd roared with laughter after the game ended. Elias clenched his fists tightly. His gaze darkened, flicking back and forth between me and Lucas. Then, as if in retaliation, he started taking shots on behalf of the freshman girl. He even deliberately acted overly flirty with her. He thought this would make me jealous. How naive. Elias still hadn't realized. In this relationship, he never had a say. As soon as the birthday party ended, I told him flat out that we were over. Elias snapped in rage. Selena, you planned this tonight, didn't you? You know I can't stand Lucas. If you can play games with your little freshman, I can play games with your roommate. Fair, right? She has social anxiety, okay? There wasn't anyone she knew here. I was just looking after her. Don't insult people with social anxiety. Someone with real anxiety wouldn't lie under a guy in front of an entire room. Selena, stop projecting your filthy mindset onto her. I stared at Elias. It was hard to believe this was the same obedient, sweet guy I once knew. He hadn't suddenly turned into trash. He'd just hidden it well. I said calmly, then you're welcome to keep taking care of her. What do you mean? I mean, we're done. Elias froze for a second, then let out a scoff. You're bluffing. You think breaking up is gonna work on me? You know I don't buy that. Whether you buy it or not my problem. Security. The moment I spoke, several security guards stormed in and dragged Elias out. You threw a party in my house without permission and trashed the place. I'll let it slide this time. Next time, I'm calling the cops. Elias, are you kidding me? Do you even know what calling the cops would do to me? I cut him off coldly. They'll notify your university, and even if your advisor tries to suppress it, I'll make sure it's posted in every corner of your campus. Hell, I'll even get it into the news. Wanna test me? Don't. He finally realized I wasn't bluffing. He glared at me, eyes full of resentment. Fine. Break up. I've wanted out anyway. Who the hell wants to date some old hag? Selena. Look at you, always dressed like some mature businesswoman. You've got zero youth or spark. What? Just 'cause you've got money? I only feel happy when I'm with my freshmen. In that case, take off every piece of clothing I bought you. The guards didn't need to be told twice. They stripped Elias down, left him with nothing but a pair of briefs. I ignored his swearing and said calmly, "You opened my wine tonight. Total value? 600,000 yuan. The invoice will be sent to your university. Hope you pay up soon. Otherwise, I'll see you in court." Selena. UF. I raised my phone, pretending to call the police. He shut up instantly. Get lost. You pathetic piece of garbage. With that, I turned and walked back inside. Early spring nights aren't all that warm, but a guy who sees money as dirt should have no problem walking back to campus barefoot. Chapter 8. Elias quickly got together with the freshman girl. Rumor had it he was even helping her apply for a social sponsorship. So-called social sponsorship meant that a philanthropist or entrepreneur came to the school, selected one underprivileged student, and funded them all the way to graduation. It wasn't a common opportunity, only one slot was available. The final round was an interview. Elias sat with the freshmen in a classroom, waiting. He promised confidently, "I've got good connections with the student council. This is in the bag for you." The girl lowered her voice. "But we faked my family background. Isn't that wrong?" "Relax. No one checks." He wrapped his arm around her, intimately. "I've already greased all the wheels for you. Don't you trust me?" As they spoke, the other candidates began arriving, Lucas among them. He found a quiet corner to sit by himself, his thin frame hunched back, looking especially frail. The girl gave him a glance. "I heard his family's really poor." Elias sneered. "Doesn't matter. No connections, no favors, no chance." But what he didn't know was that every word and action inside that room was being live-streamed to the office next door via micro camera. The moment they stepped inside, the evaluation had already begun. Elias was still rambling proudly. "I polished your resume and background perfectly, no loose ends. These rich folks are too busy to check the details. Just cry when the sponsor walks in, the more pitiful, the better." Inside the adjacent office, the school leadership was sweating bullets. "Ma'am, I had no idea these students were like this. I'll go remove them immediately." "No need," I replied lazily. "The interview is already over." "Understood. This way, please." Back in the classroom, Elias was still busy coaching his girl. Then the classroom door swung open. "The sponsor has arrived," announced the school leader. Both Elias and the girl instantly lit up, turning toward the door expectantly, and under their hungry gazes, I walked in. Chapter 9. This is a mess. Selena, one of the group's shareholders. Elias's eyes went wide. I had told him before that I ran a small business and had a bit of money, but I'd never told him I had ties to the group. He'd never bothered to check online either. The girl whispered, "So this is the connection you were talking about, your sister?" Cold sweat ran down Elias's back, per his earlier instructions. The girl immediately started trying to cry. I watched her awkward, dry performance and couldn't help but laugh. "Why are you crying?" "Sister, my family's struggling." "Stop pretending. The interview's already over." "Huh?" The girl froze. "Over." I nodded toward the blackboard. The projection began to play, clips and audio of everything they'd said. Elias's full performance, word for word. "From the moment you stepped into this room," I said, "you were already being evaluated." The school official slammed the desk in anger. "Students who fake hardship to scam sponsorships. The school will investigate and hold them accountable. We won't tolerate this." The girl was stunned. Then she started crying for real. No acting this time. I announced the recipient of the scholarship. It was a girl from the liberal arts department. Everyone seemed surprised. Her grades weren't the highest. Lucas, many believed, was the stronger candidate. But I had checked all the finalists' backgrounds personally. That girl, without my help, would be forced to drop out next semester and return home to marry an older man, to earn a dowry for her brother. She worked herself to the bone every day, studying and working, just to escape her blood-sucking family. I saw her determination, so I chose to help her change her fate. I signed the agreement with her, then spent half an hour listening to the school apologize. By the time everything was done, the sun had begun to set. Just as I was about to leave, Lucas suddenly stepped in front of my car. "The spot," he said. "Are you sure you won't reconsider?" Chapter 10. I really need this opportunity, please. I'm begging you to reconsider. Lucas clearly wasn't used to asking for favors. The knuckles of his fingers had gone white from tension. I shook my head. The agreement's already signed. I can't change it. I'm really short of money right now. I know your mother's gravely ill. I'd done background checks on every candidate. Lucas's story was particularly poignant. He'd been raised by a single mother who never had a single good day. And now she'd fallen sick, with no money left for treatment. I've spent my tuition and scholarship money on her medical bills. Lucas said, "If I don't get this sponsorship, I'll have to drop out next semester. I'm sorry, but there are hundreds, if not thousands, of students like you." For years, I'd quietly been doing philanthropy. The number of students I'd sponsored far exceeded what he imagined. Serious illness, tuition debt, medical bills, nothing new to me. Lucas kept his eyes down, trying to hide his embarrassment. At Elias's birthday party, he murmured, "You said you were interested in me, did I?" I feigned surprise. "I've forgotten." He bit down on his lip, as if wrestling with his pride. "If that's all, I'll be leaving now." "Wait." Lucas suddenly gripped the edge of my car window, as though he'd made up his mind. "If you take me in, I can do everything Elias did." That was exactly what I'd been waiting for. I curved my lips in a smile. "Then I'll have to try you out first." Chapter 11. Lucas came to my house. To ease his tension, I opened a bottle of wine for him. The alcohol loosened him up. He grew bolder. He reached to unbutton my clothes. Clumsy, hasty, with no technique. "Not like that," I said softly. "Lucas, have you ever been in a relationship?" "No." He looked embarrassed. This is my first time." "No wonder your hands are so clumsy." Stung, he suddenly used his teeth, biting open the last button like venting frustration. His cool lips brushed my back, igniting heat. Lucas trembled. His thighs pressed against my skin. "You're hot," I murmured, knowing he had no experience. I was patient. "Let me show you how to." But before I could finish, Lucas cut off my words with a kiss. The kiss had no finesse, almost reckless, but his breathing grew heavier and heavier. They say some boys are naturals at certain things. Lucas was one of them. After a moment of awkwardness, he quickly found his rhythm and grew skillful. His lean waist moved like a mountain range, quick, even fierce. He lifted me onto the table, my work desk, usually covered in papers. Lucas picked up a fountain pen, gliding it down my tailbone. The metal was icy. When it touched my skin, I almost cried out, "Sis, have you and Elias done it here?" I shook my head. He smiled in satisfaction. His low, ragged breaths by my ear were the perfect catalyst. Lucas's voice, I could never get tired of it. By dawn, Lucas finally released me. When I woke from my nap, he was still beside me. "Why aren't you back at school?" I asked. "You haven't given me your answer." "What answer?" The alcohol had worn off. He was cold and composed again, yet in his half-lowered eyes there was a shy glow. "Did I pass?" "You passed." I jumped out of bed. Ouch, my legs were weak. After dating over a dozen younger men, Lucas was a rare one who could make my legs tremble. "Your mother's medical bills, your tuition, living expenses. I'll cover it all. This afternoon I'll have her transferred to a private hospital. VIP room." "Thank you. No need." "More work, more pay." Lucas pondered the meaning of more work, more pay, saying he understood. He peeled off his shirt, pinned me back to the bed, and lowered his head. Aw, youth. Chapter 12. I'd been spending more time with Lucas. Surprisingly, we got along really well, like two friends who regretted not meeting sooner. Lucas slowly let down his guard and began to trust me. He often had insomnia in the dorms, but next to me, he could sleep like a baby. The story about Elias and the freshmen faking their backgrounds spread through the whole campus. There were so many people in the classroom that day. It was impossible not to go viral. Rumor had it they'd fallen out. The girl blamed Elias for the dumb idea. If he hadn't pushed her into it, she never would have gone that far. As for Elias, he became a school-wide punching bag. Shunned and isolated by everyone. Both of them were officially disciplined. It would follow them in their records for life. Elias still owed me for the wine. He was forced to sell off the clothes and gifts I'd bought him. Lucas told me all this while I was applying medicine to his wounds. Elias had flown into a rage and blamed everything on Lucas. Then he hit him. As I gently rubbed the ointment, I muttered furiously, "I'm so pissed, I should call the cops and have him arrested." The cops? That's not necessary. I'm not that badly hurt. It's not about how badly you're hurt. I'm just mad and I can't let it go. Lucas stared at me without saying anything. I poked his cheek. What's with the dazed look? Are you angry? Angry for me? No **TIM. What? Are you stupid? Lucas wasn't stupid. He just felt a little out of it. With his background, a single-parent family, struggling financially, he'd gotten used to being mistreated. Bullying was a normal part of life. So this was the first time someone had actually gotten angry for him. It felt strange, like something expanding, swelling inside his chest. Warm, bittersweet. Suddenly, Lucas pulled me onto his lap. Wait, I'm not done applying the ointment, I said. He didn't care. He kissed me messily. His hand slid onto my thigh, and didn't stop there, diving under my skirt. "Oh, Lucas, what's gotten into you?" He was unusually assertive today. "I don't know," he murmured. "I really don't. It just feels like the only way to calm down is to kiss you." The bottle of ointment fell to the floor, and that kiss quickly turned into something far deeper. Chapter 13. 1 week later, I accompanied Lucas to a race event. He had always loved road cycling. But because of family burdens, he'd only ever been a spectator. This was his first time participating as an amateur rider, even though he didn't even own a proper racing bike. His spot in the competition? I pulled strings to get it. The bike? I gifted it to him. It was a casual, friendly race, though it was his first time. Lucas did surprisingly well. He jogged up to me holding a Participation Excellence Award. Look, I was in the middle of chatting with the event organizers, several of whom were my friends. "Selena, who's this rider to you?" they asked curiously. "Is he your boyfriend?" "He's handsome, for sure." Amid the teasing, a sharp voice cut in with a snort. "No way. Look at how his clothes don't even fit. You think Selena would be into someone like that?" I recognized the voice. That man was someone I'd once been set up with. I rejected him, politely, but firmly. He was notoriously vain, and clearly still held a grudge. Lucas's race outfit was indeed borrowed from a classmate. It didn't fit well. He looked at the other man's perfectly tailored suit, then instinctively tried to tug down the hem of his jersey. "I'll just go stand over there." He was afraid of embarrassing me, and turned to leave, but I yanked him right back. "Yeah," I said proudly. "He is my boyfriend." I pulled Lucas closer and looked straight at my friends. Voice full of pride. Chapter 14. My friends froze, especially that petty little man, his face full of disbelief. Him? Him? What's so good about him?" "Everything's good," I replied. "I like him. That's all." There was no point wasting breath. I said my goodbyes to the group and dragged Lucas away. On the drive home, Lucas finally found his voice. "Selena, why did you say that just now?" "Say what?" "That I'm your boyfriend." "Well, aren't you?" He paused for a second. "I thought I was just some low-key, a canary?" No more of that self-pity. "Lucas, you've got brains. Looks, it'd be a waste if you weren't my boyfriend." And when did I ever say you were just a canary? He looked touched. Really? Really? You're the 12th younger man I've dated. And the one I like the most. 12? Oops, slipped out. I quickly added. I'm inviting my friends over for dinner soon. You'll officially meet everyone then. To me, boyfriend or canary wasn't much of a difference. But for Lucas, what he longed for was respect. So I gave it to him. When we got home, the menswear I'd ordered for him had arrived. I handed him the box. Here, try it on. Next time you're short on clothes, tell me. I can just borrow stuff from friends. He said, glancing at the price tag. This is way too expensive. I laughed. All my exes used to beg for fancy clothes. The pricier, the better. Only Lucas would hesitate to accept a gift. I traced a finger lightly over his abs. If you think it's too expensive, then find a way to pay me back. Lucas lowered his head and kissed my fingertip devoutly. I just finished the race. I'll go take a shower. Go ahead. He didn't let go of my hand. His black eyes shimmered with a gentle wet light. Shower together? Before I could answer, Lucas swept me up into his arms and walked straight into the bathroom. It was the longest shower of my life. Lucas didn't miss a single inch of my body. I realized he'd changed. He wasn't the shy, clumsy beginner anymore. Now, he tested boundaries and watched my reactions. Selena, do you like it here? Or, here? His voice sent electric sparks straight into my brain. We already knew each other well, but he still acted clueless, asking on purpose. And the moment I nodded, he'd proved to me exactly what he could do. Selena, out of all 12 guys you've dated, am I your favorite? You are. You're my favorite. I don't know how much time passed. Lucas. I really can't move anymore. I whispered weakly, slumped against the bathtub, like I might melt. Lucas murmured, you just have to hold on to me. I'll do all the work. You still want more? It's not enough. He bit my earlobe. Selena. I imagined this all day. I paused. When I crossed the finish line and saw you waiting for me. Lucas's voice was low and soft. You didn't care I didn't place. You were genuinely happy just because I tried. In that moment, I looked at you and felt something overwhelming. I wanted to bury you inside my body. I wanted to give you everything. Then, almost shyly, he leaned down and kissed me again. My gasps, my pleasure, all of it, devoured by that boy. Chapter 15. Lucas himself wasn't even sure what those words meant. It wasn't exactly a confession, but somehow, it meant even more than one. At first, he only saw Selena as a boss. He never thought he'd end up in a Nuna romance. He had assumed it would be difficult, awkward, maybe even unnatural. But the first time they spent the night together, he was surprised by what happened, both to his body and to his heart. He didn't have to try. Desire surged like a stormy sea, impossible to control. The way he lost control, it wasn't an act. He liked her. He liked the way her cheeks flushed, the way her eyes turned hazy in his arms. He also liked her in daytime, composed, calm, effortlessly elegant. Lucas thought maybe it was just physical. Maybe he just had a thing for powerful older women. Maybe Selena had simply unlocked something inside him. But things slowly went off track. They talked too well. Selena felt like the soulmate he'd been missing for years. And physically, they were in perfect sync. When he didn't see her, he started to miss her. He missed the sharp lines of her brows, the cool beauty of her gaze. He missed her black stockings under tight skirts, and the click of her heels on the floor. More than once, Lucas had to take a cold shower. This was not normal. Sometimes, just sitting beside Selena, doing nothing, just breathing in the faint scent of her perfume, Lucas would suddenly feel that life was beautiful. And then today happened. He found out he was the 12th. His possessiveness exploded, jealousy surging through him. Am I the best one? Will she love me the most? Those thoughts circled in his mind, until they turned into the bite marks on her shoulders, and the whispered words at her ear. He heard Selena say, "Yes, I like you the most." In that moment, His heart swelled so full it felt like it might burst. Even if he died right then, it would have been worth it. Selena had bought him so many gifts. Suddenly, Lucas wanted to give her something too. A keepsake. Something that could mark their bond. He did the math. Seriously, only an 8-year gap. That's nothing. Just right. He would work hard for her. As long as she didn't think he was too childish, he'd prove he was enough. Chapter 16. Lucas had become very busy. He'd picked up side gigs and part-time jobs again. He said he didn't want to keep spending my money. He wanted to earn enough to buy me things. Honestly, it was kind of new. I'd never met a younger guy like this. Curious. I asked my bestie Olivia about it. She gasped. Selena, this little puppy of yours is hooked. What? It's obvious. He doesn't want to be just your canary anymore. Really? I thought he was bored and planning to ghost me after paying back what he owed. Olivia rolled her eyes. Girl, if he wanted to run, he wouldn't be out here trying to buy you things. There's only one reason a guy does that. He's trying to upgrade himself. He wants to make it official. Wow, you really know your stuff. She sighed dramatically. Not gonna lie. I've been there. Mine was the same. Right then, Olivia's boyfriend walked over, holding drinks. Tall, gorgeous, 6 feet 2 inches of golden retriever energy. Once upon a time, he was just another clingy pup orbiting around Olivia. Now, he was her fiancé. Olivia nudged him. Tell Selena, what did you do when you realized you'd truly fallen for me? Her boyfriend started counting on his fingers. Studied, worked, saved money. I wanted to be worthy of Olivia, so I had to become strong enough for her. Exactly. Olivia sipped her drink, her tone turning serious. In my opinion, your Lucas is just entering that stage now. I chuckled, brushing it off. After all, Lucas had personally said he'd never date someone 8 years older. Not even a dog would. My plan was to finish lunch with Olivia and head out. But midway through, Olivia glanced at her phone and suddenly reached across the table to stop me. Selena, your boyfriend's name is Lucas, right? Yeah, why? Look at this. Her expression was deadly serious as she shoved her phone in front of me. It was a live stream. An elderly man with white hair was standing on a rooftop, tears streaming down his face. He held a photo in his hand. Dear viewers, take a good look. This is my ungrateful son, Lucas. If I die today, it'll be because of him. Chapter 17. The viewer count on the live stream kept soaring. I glanced at the comment section and quickly pieced things together. The old man claimed to be Lucas's biological father. He said Lucas was cold-hearted, indifferent to his own family, that Lucas's older brother was seriously ill. And when their father begged Lucas for help, Lucas refused to even see him. Left with no choice, the old man climbed up to the rooftop to threaten suicide. Lucas became a trending name on short video platforms. The internet was furious. Can't stand unfilial brats like this. Just breathing is a waste of oxygen. Found him, a university. Finance department. Official school page notified. Waiting for disciplinary action. Poor old man, he's clearly been pushed to the edge. Tat. A few people tried to stay rational. Maybe don't pick sides so fast. Haven't there been tons of plot twists lately? Low-key, that old guy's been live streaming for a while now, ranting non-stop. But he hasn't taken a single step closer to the edge. But they were immediately drowned out by angry mobs. Do you have no heart? The man's ready to die. What plot twist could justify that? Ugh, you must be one of those Lucases too. The public rage was relentless, brutal, and swift. I lost my appetite. I needed to get home, now. Olivia, before I go, I need a favor. I got you. There was a kind of wordless understanding between us. She already knew what I meant. These suicide live streams violate platform policy. Let me pull some strings. See if we can get it shut down. Thanks. 15 minutes later, I arrived home. Lucas didn't have class today. All the curtains were drawn. The room felt dark, sunken, hollow. He sat on the carpet. Even when I came in, he didn't move. I got straight to the point. Nestor, is he really your father? Yes. The answer caught me off guard. But you told me you only had a mom, no dad. I lied. I'm sorry. I sat cross-legged beside him. Tell me everything. You're not mad? He looked surprised. I'll decide after I hear the full story. I gave him a small smile. We older sisters are pretty rational. We don't explode without reason. Lucas pressed his lips together, then slowly began. That man was my and my mom's nightmare. I'm an illegitimate child. That's not uncommon. A lot of kids are born outside of marriage. No, this was different. He took a deep breath, then continued. My mother was raped. Chapter 18. My eyes widened in shock. I didn't even dare repeat that word. Couldn't believe what I'd just heard. She was 18. Lucas said quietly. Raped by a man almost 40. She got pregnant. She was poor. Never went to college. Didn't even know how to protect herself. In the end, she gave birth to me without really knowing what to do. His voice was calm, too calm, as if this weight had been crushing his soul for 20 years. Nestor never took responsibility. Never. Not once. He even threatened us. Said if we ever ruined his family, he'd take all of us down with him. He's an extreme man. A guy who could do something like rape. How could he be rational? My mom was scared he'd hurt me. So she packed up and fled the city with me. Then why is he back now? He wants a kidney transplant. His other son has renal failure. He wants me to get tested. And if I'm a match, give up one of my kidneys. I refused. And this is what he pulled. A chill ran through me. This wasn't a father. This was a parasite in human skin. A rotting soul in a human shell. I started to strategize. Based on today's live stream, someone's clearly helping him. The setup was too polished. This was professional manipulation. Yeah, I felt that too. What are you planning to do? I don't know. I thought about telling the truth, but that would mean exposing what my mother went through. And that was a line Lucas didn't want to cross. He loved his mom too much. Selena, let's break up. His voice was hollow, defeated. Everyone knows we're together. Nestor will come after you eventually. I don't want to drag you into this. Not even a little. Chapter 19. I didn't agree to Lucas's suggestion. My little puppy got bullied out there. What I should do is help him fight back, not abandon him. Olivia had already found someone to take action. Nestor's live stream was temporarily shut down, but he quickly switched to posting photos and text videos. The wording was extremely manipulative. There was definitely someone coaching him behind the scenes. Good. A handler makes this easier. Within 3 days, we found the company behind it. Under intense pressure from my group, the firm immediately terminated all cooperation with Nestor. Once he lost his media team, Nestor's posts began to fall apart. Inconsistencies, contradictions, netizens caught on quickly. But it wasn't over yet. With my encouragement, Lucas released a public statement. He left out the part about his mother, for now. Public opinion began to shift. At the same time, we filed a police report. Thanks to Nestor's excessive attention-seeking, the investigation moved much faster than usual. Within a week, the police released an official blue and white bulletin. Everything Lucas had said was true. He and Nestor were related only by DNA. In 20 years, Nestor never made a single call, never gave him a cent in child support. This whole livestream farce was just a scheme to pressure Lucas into donating a kidney. But that wasn't all. Nestor was now under investigation for public manipulation, defamation, fraud, and rape. He would face further legal action. The entire internet exploded. All the so-called filial sons, who once defended Nestor, were now thoroughly humiliated. From beginning to end, the entire incident lasted just over a week. Not a long time, but only Lucas knew how agonizing it had been. His classmates' suspicions, the net's hatred, and most of all, the constant effort to smile in front of his sick mother, carefully hiding everything. Terrified she'd stumble across the news. That week had almost stripped a layer off his skin. And that evening, when the official police statement finally came out, Lucas could finally breathe. Chapter 20. But what none of us expected was that this whole incident still wasn't over. Nestor was temporarily detained by the police. His precious son could no longer get that kidney transplant. Friday night, Lucas was working his part-time shift at a restaurant, and that's when an uninvited guest arrived. The woman ordered a pot of soup. As Lucas brought it to the table, she looked up and asked, "Are you Lucas?" Lucas instinctively replied, "Yes, I am." The woman suddenly snapped and dumped the entire pot of boiling hot soup all over Lucas. I walked in just in time to see the scene unfold. Lucas's neck and hands, left exposed, turned red instantly from the burn. But it didn't stop there. The woman charged over to the next table, grabbed whatever food she could, and smashed it down over Lucas's head. "Why the hell won't you give my son a kidney? Now you've even thrown my husband in jail. You dirty bastard, our family took you in and now you repay us like this? Your mom must have seduced my husband, or else why would he even look at her?" Her filthy, slanderous words were unbearable. I rushed forward, swung my handbag, and slammed it right into the back of her skull. The psycho woman was stunned. "Who the hell are you?" "I'm Lucas's girlfriend." "Oh, please. Even he has a girlfriend? What kind of?" Before she could finish that sentence, I gave her a few more hard slaps. She stumbled, hands over her head, trying to run, but I wasn't about to let her escape. I had already notified the police the moment I stepped into the restaurant. Just as she reached the door, the officers arrived. Intentional injury, public disturbance. She'd be detained too. Once the woman was dealt with, I turned back to Lucas. Damn, my poor little pup. Looked like he was shutting down all over again. Chapter 21. Lucas stood there, completely still. Bits of food and egg soup still clung to his clothes. Drops of hot broth trickled from his hair. He looked absolutely miserable. His skin stung red from the burns. Crowds had gathered. Colleagues, customers, they all watched from a distance. No one came forward. In these past few days of part-time work, Lucas had felt it. Even though the police had cleared his name, people still kept their distance. That's just how people are. Online, brave and loud. In real life, better safe than sorry. He heard them whispering, "Shouldn't we just let him go?" Yeah, if we keep him, stuff like this will keep happening. Honestly, I still don't fully trust the police report. What kind of person drives his dad to suicide? He must have done something wrong. Shoo. Quiet down. What if he hears us? Lucas felt humiliated and furious. He was like an island, completely isolated from everyone else. And then, someone broke through the crowd and tightly held his hand. "Does it hurt?" I looked up at him, my gaze full of worry and tenderness. Chapter 22. I first took Lucas to the hospital. Luckily, the burns weren't serious. They wouldn't leave scars. Then I accompanied him to the police station to make a statement. The officers asked if he wanted to consider a settlement. Lucas turned to look at me. "I'm torn. It wasn't really her fault. It was Nestor's. But she insulted my mother." "No, she's an accomplice," I explained. "Nestor ruined other people's lives, and she shifted the blame onto the victims. That's what an accomplice does." Lucas ultimately decided not to settle. By the time we walked out of the station, night had fallen. The moon hung high in a sparse sky. I asked, "What about this part-time job?" "I've already decided to quit. I just got an internship offer from a securities firm. I was planning to leave next week anyway. It was a top securities company. Graduates fight tooth and nail to get in." Lucas had earned a 3-month summer placement because of his outstanding grades. Step by step, he'd made it here with great difficulty. "Congratulations," I said sincerely. "You'll be wearing a suit and tie every day now, right?" Lucas said suddenly, reaching into his pocket. He took out a necklace. I recognized the brand. It was expensive. "I saved my part-time wages to buy you a gift." What a coincidence. I'd just been eyeing this necklace and was planning to buy it tomorrow. I immediately took off the old necklace from my neck. With his burnt, reddened hands, Lucas fastened the new one around me. His eyes shone like a pool of pure spring water. "Do you like it?" "I love it." I took his hand. "Come on, let's go home." Chapter 23. That night, Lucas woke up from a nightmare. I got up and poured him a glass of water. "Sorry for waking you." "It's fine. No work tomorrow." "What did you dream about? Tell me." Lucas hesitated. "Nothing. If you don't tell me, I can still guess. He gave a little laugh. No way. You dreamed your mother abandoned you when you were little, didn't you? Lucas stared at me in astonishment. I told you, I can guess. How do you know? Because I know you. Lucas, you've always felt you shouldn't even be in this world. You think you're the source of your mother's pain. Your greatest fear is that even your mother might not want you. You've worked hard, been the good kid all your life, just to make her happy, right? Lucas's breathing quickened, signs of emotion breaking through. All right, that's exactly it. I reached out and smoothed his hair. Your fear is unnecessary. She's an extraordinary woman. She raised you so gently, made you into someone this excellent. In the darkness, Lucas said nothing. He rested his face on my thigh, letting me comb his short, soft hair with my fingers. Selena, I always have a crazy thought. What is it? If I drained half the blood from my body, would I become cleaner? You're already clean. His breath caught. He buried his face even deeper. After a while, I felt dampness on my leg. Lucas's tears. My little puppy lowered his head and quietly cried. Selena, thank you for understanding me. Chapter 24. Olivia once said, the moment a little boyfriend stops calling you big sis is the moment he's madly in love with you. Ever since starting his internship, Lucas rarely calls me sister anymore, only sometimes in bed. When he's teasing me, he'll say it once or twice. Our lives returned to peace. Nestor and his people never came back to bother us. But one day, as I was leaving work, I ran into Elias. He was talking to Lucas. Lucas had come to pick me up, wearing a suit, long legs sharp and lean. He stood out effortlessly in the crowd. Neither of them saw me. I slipped behind the doorway, just in time to hear their conversation. Elias said, Selena only treats you like a dog. Do you really think she loves you? Lucas didn't flinch. Even dogs can be loved, or not. I'm the kind that's spoiled. Elias scoffed. Bro, just look at how I ended up. Dating a rich cougar like her? There's no good ending. Lucas chuckled coldly. 28 is already a cougar? What's wrong? Can't see yourself living past 28, or planning to die at 30. That shut Elias up. Damn it. What the hell did Selena feed you, got you this obsessed? You were the same. No, I wasn't. Then what are you doing here? I came to get back with her, right? Lucas saw through him at a glance. You can't fool me. Elias looked guilty, but still tried to deny it. I'm not. I don't want her back. Lucas cut him off. Ever since I got with Selena, there's one thing I never understood. How the hell did you have the heart to break up with her? She's so kind, so understanding, so brilliant. Where do you think you'll find another woman like that? Lucky for me, you were blind. Gave me the perfect opening. Elias lost it. She's just got money. That's all. I couldn't stand her arrogance. If you had money, you'd be even more arrogant than she is. She has a temper when work stresses her out. How is that not a flaw? She's cute when she's mad. It's healthy to blow off steam under pressure. And she gets crazy sometimes when she's frustrated in bed. Elias suddenly realized he'd gone too far. He stopped. Lucas smirked. On the contrary, I think she gets tired too easily. I feel sorry for her. I don't even dare go too hard. Elias, if you're the problem, don't go blaming the woman. Elias was about to explode. He shouted, Lucas! You said it yourself. You'd never date a woman 8 years older. Not even a dog would. Lucas looked deadpan, and replied, Woof. Chapter 25. Time flew by. In the blink of an eye, Lucas graduated from college, and it had already been 2 years since we got together. He started his business in the second semester of junior year, slowly building up his skills and wealth. But compared to my company, he was still far behind. The day his mother was fully discharged from the hospital, I brought out the relationship agreement from the beginning. The relationship ends when your mother is discharged. Either party may choose to end it. Lucas was stunned. What do you mean, end it? This was your condition back then. I didn't know better then, but now you're financially stable. Your mother's healthy. Lucas swayed, almost losing balance. He grabbed my wrist. Voice trembling. Selena. What do you mean by this? Are you saying you don't want me anymore? I looked him in the eye and spoke clearly. Lucas. I'm going on blind dates. I'm 30 now. I need to secure my position as a shareholder of the company. I need someone who can back me up. And Lucas, at this stage, couldn't help me. Last month, my father brought up the topic of marriage meetings. I have an older brother and a younger brother. Both are more suited than me to inherit the family business. Both are better candidates for the no. One shareholder seat, but I want to fight for it. I want to be the successor. And at this point in life, I can't have both ambition and Lucas. I thought about it for a month, and ultimately, I chose ambition. Lucas was nearly breaking down. I can help you. Just give me more time. Let me finish this project. Once it succeeds, my company will grow and I can support you. There's no more time. The truth is, I was reluctant to leave Lucas too. He was the boyfriend I'd been with the longest. So long that I had long stopped seeing him as the little brother I once teased. I had already regarded him as my real partner. But in the end, love was never more important to me than my career. Please, just give me a little more time. I apologized softly. I'm sorry. I have to move forward. I can't stay in place. Lucas lost control. He lunged toward me like a madman, tearing off my dress. He was rougher than he had ever been. He left marks all over me, as if he wanted to consume me whole. I understood his pain. That storm of rage and desire, I took it all. We stayed up all night. At sunrise, I left quietly. Matchmaking is a game, a cold negotiation of resources, not emotions. Every dinner was just a transaction. We clinked glasses, exchanged conditions. No talk of love, only leverage. We came to an agreement. I got married in a flash. Don't be surprised. Since I chose ambition, I had to take on everything that came with it. At the wedding, someone whispered, Lucas was here. I didn't see him, or maybe I just thought I saw his silhouette. In these 6 months apart, he had grown at terrifying speed, like ruthless roots devouring nutrients. He expanded himself and his company nonstop, faster than anyone predicted. 6 months after the wedding, I finally became the largest shareholder in the group. But between me and my husband, we still had little to say to each other. Still, I knew he was plotting against me. This was a marriage built on profit. It wasn't surprising he had ulterior motives. And had he been more subtle, I might have turned a blind eye. But he was greedy. He tried to carve a piece out of what I had fought so hard for. Didn't he know? If not for that piece of power, I would never have married him. He wasn't even worth one finger of Lucas's. Why am I thinking of Lucas again? I stared out the window, suddenly weary. This game of betrayal and calculation was about to reach its final curtain. Today, one of us had to win, and one had to fall. At the shareholder meeting, the tension was thick. No one would give in. My husband had set a perfect trap, cornering me inch by inch. Just as he was about to take the final blow, the door burst open. Lucas stood at the threshold. He announced coolly, Sir, better get your crisis PR team ready. My husband froze. And then, as if on cue, his phone and his assistant's phones exploded with calls. His family's newest product was under fire for intellectual theft and fraudulent marketing. The news had blown up. He turned to Lucas, eyes bloodshot. Was this your doing? You're her ex? Lucas smiled without confirming or denying anything. The wind lifted the curtains as he strode toward me. That moment reminded me of the past, when he raced toward the finish line during the competition. Just like now, full of fire, full of confidence, running straight to me. Selena, can you divorce him now? Lucas knelt down on one knee by my side, his gaze unwavering, raw with sincerity. Chapter 26. The man was trapped in a public relations crisis, frantic and exhausted. On the day of our divorce, he pointed at my nose and cursed. You've been calculating me from the very beginning. You're just realizing it now? I said in mock surprise. You shouldn't be so stupid. Keeping mistresses everywhere has dulled your brain? When he made a move, I directly threw a stack of photos at him, all evidence of him meeting other women in secret. If you don't want these photos exposed, behave. Divorce quietly. He stopped acting rashly. If a scandal broke out now, his family's company would be doomed. I smoothly obtained the divorce certificate to buy those photos back. He even paid me a large hush fee. Flash marriage, flash divorce. People said I was the joke of the circle, but I didn't care. And neither did Lucas. What era is this? And they're still mocking women with the shackle of marriage? Lucas asked, almost boasting. I played my part pretty well this time, didn't I? Perfect. No wonder you were with me for 2 years. I kissed him. You've always been the best. All thanks to your teaching. In the past, Lucas had learned a lot while staying by my side. He was smart, fought corporate battles cleanly and flawlessly. Lucas held me, sat me on his lap, kissing me obsessively all over. We messed up the living room. He held me and walked into the bedroom. With each step, my heart pounded. I could feel his heat burning. Was he the 13th? Who? When my reason returned a little, I realized he meant my ex-husband. The little puppy was jealous again. No, he wasn't. I found him dirty and wouldn't let him touch me. You're the last one. The shadow lifted from Lucas's face. Did you miss me? Yes. I missed you too. His deep voice whispered at my ear. I've held it back for a year. Selena, please. Soothe me. He guided my hand down from his abs. Selena, when I missed you, I did this. We sank into the night, revisiting each other's bodies. When long-suppressed desire was finally released, Lucas's eyes grew even redder, like a starving ghost unsated. Selena, I love you. I love you. I love you. I love you. Selena, he murmured again and again. I said, I love you too. Chapter 27. Later, I told Lucas, during the flash marriage, I had already been prepared for divorce. My original plan was to become the largest shareholder, then leave, and then get back together with him. Lucas looked surprised. So, I was always in your plan? Yes. Why didn't you tell me? If I'd told you in advance, you might have slacked off. You wouldn't have grown so fast, and you couldn't have pulled off this move. I was heartbroken for a whole year. Serves you right. Who told you to despise me back then? When did I ever despise you? 8 years older, even a dog wouldn't date her. I let the words slip out softly. Lucas froze. How do you know? That day Elias forgot to hang up the voice chat. I heard everything you guys said. I was wrong. Actually, that comment was to mock Elias. I hated how he had a girlfriend yet still sent skins to freshmen. It really wasn't about you. I know, it's all in the past now. At first, because of that line, my impression of Lucas was that he was careless and arrogant. Getting close to him really did start out as play for a while, then dump him. But after being with him, I realized he wasn't that kind of person. He deserved to be treated sincerely. Selena. Lucas suddenly pulled out a diamond ring and knelt on one knee. Will you marry me? I asked calmly. Have you thought this through? I'm 8 years older and divorced. I've thought about it long ago. None of that matters. He kissed the back of my hand. Selena, please let me love you forever. Today's sunset was beautiful. Like the day he stopped my car. I raised a smile and said, okay.